Flavio,
Hi, Joey. Yes, Flavio. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. That headset is doing a
Yeah,
great job. Very
yeah,
clear.
yeah. Thank you. So, my friend, first of all, thank you for accepting my class.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Thank you for calling.
it's difficult to choose a tutor because I don't know I don't know nobody
Uh-huh.
to choose. Normally I use so before the profile of the tutors
Mhm.
to know something about, but this time I don't know nothing about your profile. I don't read nothing about you, so I get this subscriber on Cambly to practicing my speaking skills
Uh-huh.
as the most of the students. Uh, yeah, this week my last week because my vacation is ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this week I don't practice it. Um, I don't practice any class because
Wow.
I travel. I make a little travel with my family to resort on the beach to enjoy my last days on vacation.
Yeah, nice. Good.
Yeah, necessary, man. Yeah,
Yes, of course. Of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So sorry, I don't read your profile before, but
Sure,
can
it's
you
okay.
can you tell me something about you?
Yeah,
What do you do? Where do you live?
absolutely. Yes. So I'm originally from the United States. I'm in an area very close to Washington, D.C., and Virginia is where I grew up and lived for many years. And I came to Costa Rica. So I'm in Central America right now. I came to Costa Rica, and the idea was to come here to take classes to improve my Spanish. I was supposed to be here for 5 months and then go back to the United States. Flavio, do you know that I loved the weather? The Costa Rican people here, Costa Ricans, ticos, they are so nice.
So friendly, the people.
Oh, very friendly.
Very
Very,
friendly.
very friendly. And the food here, ding, ding,
It's
ding, ding, ding,
amazing.
ding, ding.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
it's so good. It's so good. And it's simple. It's simple, but it's just very well cooked. It's very well
Yeah,
prepared.
I
Yeah,
believe. Like I think that is like here in Brazil, the food.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard. Have you visited Brazil before? Have
Not
you ever
yet.
visited?
I
Not
I
yet.
want to so badly. I
But you
want
but you
to
have
one day.
yeah, but you have a plan.
I have it has to happen one day. It has to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I think that about food, I think that you will like, yes, a lot here. Yeah. I have a curiosity about your Spanish.
Yeah.
Um, when you decide to migrate to Costa Rica,
Mhm.
do you speak in Spanish before, or you start your learning plan um, from this moment?
Yeah, no. So the full story is that I started studying Spanish when I was 13 in school,
And it's
and
good.
so I took my first class then, and then I continued. I took 4 years of Spanish in total in school, and then I went to college, and then about a year after college, I started college. In my second year, I decided to make Spanish one of the subjects I would study. So I was studying communication and Spanish. And then after I graduated and got my communication degree and my Spanish degree, I didn't speak Spanish. So I forgot everything. which is terrible. And
Yeah.
so I at some point I decided just to take a job. I decided to be a substitute teacher, and what I realized and learned was that a lot of the language teachers and especially Spanish teachers, it was hard for them to find a substitute teacher that knew Spanish and could help the kids and answer their questions. So I got a lot of teachers requesting me to come in and teach their Spanish classes. Then I thought, you know what? I think I want to teach my own Spanish class. So I came down here to improve my Spanish so I could go back to the United States and teach my own Spanish class. I
Right.
just never went back to the United States. So instead of Flavio, instead of staying here for 5 months,
But oh
you
yeah,
know, in February, I will celebrate 5 years here in Costa Rica.
5 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I stayed.
Yeah. But in the beginning, when you, as you told me, in college,
Mhm.
the level of study, the level of Spanish is not enough to get a good conversation with
No.
with confidence.
Right. No,
Am I right?
that's correct. Well, what the best thing I did is that I went to Spain and I studied Spanish in Spain for 1 semester, and that really helped with my confidence. That was amazing. But yeah, but other than studying for a semester in Spain, I would not have had the confidence to speak Spanish conversationally.
That's true. That's true. A theory that where when you don't use your knowledge like a new language that you studied every day, every single
Mhm.
day, when you don't use, you forget the knowledge.
Yeah.
You forget
Yeah.
the language.
Mhm.
That's true.
That's
So-
true.
I ask you about this because I start my plan to study English. I told you this same history in in all my classes. I started studying English in January of this year from scratch. You know, so this level that I used to talk to you now, this is my improvement in 11 months.
That's amazing.
Yes,
That is amazing.
I have a good listening.
Uh huh.
My writing is more or less so. Like I don't know
Okay.
how can
Yeah.
can I say. And speaking for me, it was every a problem because
It was
Uh,
always a problem. It was always a problem.
it was always yes always a problem because I don't have people to practicing and how can I say guts to expose myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hmm.
But nowadays, with this improvement, I decided my wife told me, "Hey, honey, what what do you think to create a YouTube channel to share your experience?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and help the people like you that don't have the guts in the beginner to expose themselves."
Oh, wow.
So I've been thinking about, and I decided to create my YouTube channel. You know,
Very cool.
yeah, because this English that I know
Hmm.
learning, I don't know if you're gonna believe if you will believe me, but I improved this watching class sharing on YouTube channels from many other students that share their experience.
Yes.
So for example, I found YouTuber and I watched one video
Hmm.
from him, and I like this video and I decided to watch it again and again and again and again, you know. So I record in my mind the sentence, the phrase, and I
Yeah.
and I practice this sentence and this sentence and this phrases with my wife, with my son, you know. It's incredible. It's a funny situation because my son don't understand, but try to understand me, and my wife asking me, "Honey, are you crazy?" Yes, but believe it or not, man, little by little, I improve my English like this.
Yeah,
And
that's fantastic.
yes, trying to speak with my coworkers, my colleagues in my job, and for me, it's a victory, man. I am so proud by myself. Can I?
Of
Can I
myself, proud of myself.
of
Yeah,
myself?
yeah.
Because when I watch my first class on Cambly, do you don't
Mm.
man? Do you don't have it? Do you don't have idea, man? It was terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah,
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 but nowadays I can't get conversation like this, and I think that I can help you other people share my some classes.
yeah.
Obviously, there are tutors that, for example, don't agree to share the classes, and I asked you before.
Hmm.
Some tutors don't like because I don't know. I respect,
Right.
but other tutors um, accept my idea and agree with this um, initiative. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So before our time is ending, let me ask you, if you don't
Uh-huh.
mind, can I post this conversation on my YouTube
Absolutely.
channel?
Of
Oh,
course.
thank you so
Of
much. I
course. Of
appreciate
course.
it. Yeah, yeah, thank you so much. So
No problem whatsoever.
yeah, I will go back in the theme of our conversation about your Spanish.
Hmm.
I have a curiosity about your plan to improve your Spanish. What your plan do you use to improve to learn Spanish, and what your difficulties that you have?
Yeah. Well, for me, my what I do to improve my Spanish is I try to watch as much news as possible. Watching the news has helped me learn a lot of vocabulary. And I listen to, so I'll watch the news. I'll listen for words that either that are new to me, or words that maybe I have heard before that I don't use very often. And then I watch the news like this with my phone, and I have an app, my notes app open. And when I hear a word I don't understand, I write it down. Or if there are words on the screen I don't quite understand, I will take a picture of it so I can look at it later. And so that's what I do, and that really helps with my vocabulary a lot. And then the thing that I think that still I have trouble with is some of the more advanced grammar and the advanced grammar tenses and conjugating those and knowing when
Yeah,
to use those. That's hard for me. And little by little, I'm understanding more how to use it, but it's still a challenge just because there are so many
yeah,
tenses.
yeah. I ask you about this because for me, sometimes I have a feeling that give up,
Uh-huh.
because not to give up, but what the opposite word of motivation? The opposite, unmotivation,
Unmotivated or
unmo-
unmotivated, or to
unmotivated.
be unmotivated. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I am unmotivated because I studied grammar, my friend. But when I start a conversation like this with you, for example,
Hmm.
I don't remember the rules. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Sometimes and in probably I make some many mistakes, and therefore when I watched this conversation record on Cambly, I
Hmm.
saw my I saw my mistakes, and oh man, how can I how can I make these mistakes, man? Oh man, I am, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what I need to do. Some maybe it's necessary be patient with this process because I think so. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point of view, my
I
situation?
understand, and I completely agree. And I can, even from my own experience, I wanted to learn it all in 5 months. I've been here almost 5 years, and I still haven't learned it all. So I've heard this term recently called micro progressions, and so
Yes.
you have to be okay with making micro progressions, very small
1%
progressions
by
forward.
day.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And like they say here, poco a poco, little by little,
Yeah.
and that's okay. And you know, I've been patient with my progress, but now looking back at to where I was when I first got to Costa Rica compared to now, I've made a lot of progress. But a lot of that big amount of progress, a lot of that is due to patience, because it's not like I wasn't learning. I didn't quit learning. I was engaged, but
Yeah.
the learning process, it just takes a long time, and you have to be patient.
Yeah, I agree, Joey. I think that your experience in Costa Rica, it was a great tool, opportunity,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you to improve your Spanish ability
Hmm.
to speak in. But here in Brazil, I don't have this opportunity to. In this moment, I don't have opportunity to visit the other countries
Right,
and and create an immersion in my life. Here in
right.
Brazil, it's difficult to practice English. I have
Hmm.
friends that know that speaking English, but unfortunately, I don't know what the reason, but they don't want to speaking to practicing. I don't know what the reason, because I asked you before, if you don't use your knowledge, you forget your
Hmm.
knowledge. You know.
Yes, yes. And
So
here, really quickly, this is something a phrase
if you
we say
don't
a lot,
use,
an expression.
thank you
Yeah,
so much. If you don't
you,
use
you
it,
don't use
you
it, you
lose
lose
it.
it. Exactly.
Oh, hey Joey, let me ask you a favor, please.
Sure.
Uh, During this conversation, if I make mistakes, correct me immediately, okay?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
like you like you do before.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes, it for me is very important. I have some classes with other tutors
Uh-huh.
when the conversation is so good, and I and my tutor it's very excited in the conversation, but we forget the
Yeah, yeah. And that happens. That happens. Yeah.
yeah, man, yeah. So where were we? People, friends to practicing conversation.
Oh,
I,
right.
I
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. Here the difficulty to improve my ability to speak in skills. This, in my opinion, this that's it. Can you tell me about your how long have you been on Cambly teaching English?
Yeah. I'm haven't been here that long. I've been here for, I think this is my third week.
That's really, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was teaching for other ESL websites before, and I still teach with one. I teach for Costa Rican online academy, and it's great. And I had heard about Cambly and considered working for Cambly, but at the time I was working for another website, and I don't know if you've heard of this, but a lot of ESL online websites and a lot of those were very popular in China. So a lot of those companies actually they lost their business, or they, the government in China decided to make a regulation that that kids, school age kids, could not take English classes from teachers that were living outside of China. And so that means a lot of those teachers, like me, could no longer teach their students that they were teaching in China online.
Wait. Let me see if I understand. The government in China decide don't allow that the kids, Chinese kids, get class about English,
to take English classes from a teacher that is outside of China, outside of the country. Exactly.
Do you know what the reason?
Well, there are a couple of different ideas. I've heard that it's because they wanted to reduce the stress of kids in China, because things are very competitive in China, and education is education is a high priority, and including being able to speak good English. And so, that was one thing I've heard, is that they wanted to reduce the stress on their students, on their young students, so they took away English, basically, so that they could have maybe some more free time, or one fewer thing to have to worry about. There's also, I saw a report that there's an idea that if parents don't have to pay for English classes, they can have more money to maybe have more children. And before, there was a rule from the Chinese government to Chinese families that they can only have 2 children, and that was it. Well, now they lifted that rule, and now they're encouraging people to have 3 children. And so they thought that maybe that if they took away the expense and parents having to pay for English classes, that parents might feel, they might feel more interested in having more children. And the idea is, if they have more children, that will be more people to, I guess, maybe contribute to the Social Security system for the people who are getting older and will need that support.
Yeah. In China, the main language is Mandarin. Am I correct?
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about some friends? I read some news that the Mandarin, it's the people that decide to learn Mandarin, the number of people is increasing so fast. I don't know if in a few years, how can I say, in the short time, I try to explain in another way. In a short time, maybe most people speak in Mandarin more than people speak in English.
Oh, really?
Yes, I read.
That's interesting.
Yes, I read.
Past tense read. Yeah. Present tense read. Past tense read. Yeah.
Read. I read a news about this. I don't know. If I'm not wrong, in other platform like Engu. I don't know if you know about Engu platform.
Yes. I've heard of it.
There are some materials like articles about different subjects, and if I'm not wrong, I read on Engu article about this. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask you about this. I don't know if you know something about Mandarin, that people study people study Mandarin. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just from my experience of the schools in the Northern Virginia area where I've done most of my teaching, it seems like there are more and more kids. It's a slowly growing number of students who are taking Mandarin classes. And if even just recently I've been reading and watching videos about how China is growing as a superpower in the world, and that might be another reason that it could be important and maybe required or vital for more people to speak Mandarin.
It's possible in the future. Yeah. Man, we have 30 seconds to end this class. I really appreciate your attention that you give to me. Sure. I hope see you again in other class.
Sounds good.
Next week, okay?
Sounds good. We'll see you then, Flavio.
Take care, my friend. Be safe.
Yes. You be well.
Bye.
Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Have a good week.
You too.
Thank you.